back to the Buddy Martin Show. I'm here with Toombs County High School head coach Buddy Martin. Coach Martin, congratulations. Big win last week again over Charlton County. And then getting ready for another matchup this Friday night with our first ever out-of-state opponent in the history of Toombs County football. Hamilton County's coming to us out of Florida. And we were supposed to play an out-of-state opponent in Hilton Head High School back a few years ago. That game ended up getting canceled because of it was right during the time we were dealing with COVID and everything. So getting our first out-of-state opponent this week. Very unfamiliar opponent for a lot of our fans. So can you give us some backstory on them and tell us what you're working on in practice this week to prepare?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, first just touch on the game last week. Like you said, it was a big win at Charlton County. I was very familiar with them. I think probably everybody in the state is, just with how talented and successful they were through the 90s, early 2000s, and probably even before then. But that's kind of what I know about them. And they're a talented football team, well coached. Their new head football coach doing a great job, just trying to bring them kind of back together and provide some consistency and discipline. You could see that with them. So they had good speed and good size, and it was a good win for us. I mean, I think you think about 3 road trips in a row that have some distance to them. That we kind of got over there Friday, and I could tell that you kind of see the weariness in some of our kids. I know I feel it, but I'm not. They probably don't feel it quite as much as I do, but just being that I'm older, don't adjust to some of those things real well. But I know if I'm feeling it, they're feeling some of it. So was proud of how they fought through the game, had some adversity. Charlton County made some plays, and we fought through and finished well. So I was very proud of that trip and that win. And I think for me, one of the neat things as coach, especially when you've got a large team like we have this year, is seeing guys get an opportunity to play that maybe aren't your starters or maybe aren't in that starting rotation of players, and just seeing them have a great attitude and be ready to get out there and contribute, and then to see those guys when they get out there have a chance to make plays is something that you just makes you happy for them, because you see them reaping what they sow. They're getting a reward for all their hard work, and so just proud of that trip, proud of our team for finishing kind of that 3-game stretch of road trips, and man, we're pumped to be back in the pit Friday. And you mentioned, I didn't realize it was the first time ever that Toombs that we had played an out-of-state opponent. I do remember the deal with Hilton Head and a couple years ago, and but it's kind of one of those deals where when we've talked about this several times, talked about it the week of the Rome game of we're trying to put a schedule together, and trying to find teams that'll play us and some teams that we can get to come play us at home, and we had to. It works out where the head coach of Hamilton County is a good friend, guy that I've coached with in the past. He was on my staff when I was coaching down at Hardy High School in Central Florida. Good man. He's trying to build that program up. I mean, I think they're 10 years removed from winning a state championship there, so they've got some talent. There's some pedigree there, but just have had some inconsistencies, and so he's trying to get it back to where it was, and I know they're going to be well coached, and he's trying to instill the same things in his kids and his program that we are here at Toombs County. So we're excited to host them. I think it's going to be a good game, a great atmosphere. I know everybody's excited to have a home game and it being homecoming, and it's going to be fun. We're also going to present Davin Wadley with his state championship wrestling ring right there before the game, so we want to make sure everybody gets there early and is in their seats with their Billy Burger and fries for that. But yeah, we're excited to be back in the pit, excited for week 5 football.
So looking at the game from last week and then practice this week, what are some things that you guys have been working on in practice to improve? Because even though we're winning and everything seems to be going well, I know there's some things that you guys are focusing on.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall one of the issues is some depth. We played without several starters last week, and we'll be without several going into this week. so you're always looking at, who's the next guy on the depth chart, who's the next guy in line. We got to make sure we're preparing him and the one behind him, right? The guy that's going to play Friday, you got to get him ready, but you got to have the next one ready too. So I think that's always a challenge, something that we're constantly working on, and especially as you get into the season, it's, we're not going to come up with some new plays or some new things, right? We do what we do, but we got to just continue teaching the fundamentals of what we do, and then making sure that our kids are ready to get out there Friday and play fast and be physical. And I think that's one of the things that Coach Marsh stressed on when I came to Georgia, and I think one of the things that I learned from him and trying to just be smart with how we continue that is, hey, yeah, you got to practice, and we're going to work hard. I mean, we value hard work, and we value the grind, but there's something said to getting your kids to Friday's kickoff fresh and ready and excited about playing. So that's always something you're navigating, trying to work on. I would say, offensively, Davin Wiley continues to run the ball really well. When we can get the ball in the hands of our receivers, good things happen for us. We're still working up front on, we're going to get people blitzing, people giving us looks that we haven't seen because we're good offensively, and they know they're probably not just going to be able to walk out there and what they normally do and stop us every play. So we're going to get a lot of blitzing, twisting, stunts. So the offensive line's got to continue to work on picking those up. We had a few missed. We missed a few of those in Charlton County, which put some pressure on TJ, and so just trying to continue to work there, and and then defensively, I think the big thing in the game Friday was we had some penalties. Now, as much as I hate penalties, I think several of those came out of guys just giving great effort. But again, you got to be disciplined. I mean, you give great effort and have 20 penalties, and you're going to lose, right? So, got to clean that up. And then Charlton County had a really athletic quarterback. Hamilton County has a very athletic quarterback, and we've got to keep edges on the defense. And if we can let him get outside and run around, it puts stress on those DBs that are covering. And we had some issues with that Friday, so would love to see that cleaned up. At the game this Friday.
This week is homecoming, and there's a lot of activities here at school, and then also across the state. You can go on social media, things like that. People are noticing the effort that you guys have put forward so far this year and everything. And I know when Coach Marsh was here, he and I talked a lot about that. The extra stuff, homecoming week, Vidalia week, stuff like that. That's for the fans. That you guys have to stay focused, but then also, you have the added influence of all of that outside noise coming this year. How do you get to keep your guys focused going forward, especially as we're getting closer to region play and things like that in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing that we can do as adults, and we talk with our coaches about this all the time in everything that we do, but if I'm wanting a certain behavior from the student athletes that I'm coaching, the best way to get that is to model it for them. Physically with my actions, my attitude. Now we're going to spend time talking to them about those things too. But I think that's one of the things I loved about being here with Coach Marsh is that he and I think a lot alike in those kind of things. And I think it's there's a reason that they have the homecoming at the football game, right? I mean, it's people come and show up. They want to see their people walk across the field dressed up pretty, but there's a football game. That's the main draw there. So, I mean, I think that's what we tell them. I mean, hey, it's fun, it's exciting, it's great to have all this extra stuff. It's great to have all the attention that we've been getting all season. Mm-hmm. People are talking about us, but that's for. I told them, look, hey, after game 15, we'll get together. We'll read the newspapers. We'll read the magazine articles. We'll laugh and joke and talk and be proud of that. But right now we're in the middle of it. And if we start looking at all that stuff now, it's where you get lost in that. You get human nature is you get patted on the back. You think you've done a good job, and you let up, you relax, you coast, you don't press in as hard. So we want to avoid that. We want to attack that, and we talk about it with them. But I think the thing is we just need to model that for them, how our intensity and our focus, and what the goal is in mind, and just to continue trying to be where our feet are. Our goal today is to go win Wednesday, go win it, win the day today, go be the best student you can be from 7:50 to 2:50, and then let's handle the transition to football practice, and let's go have a great practice and win every rep of practice. Mm-hmm. And let's handle whatever activities are taking place after that evening. You got to be careful who you're around, be smart who you're with, where you're going, what you're doing, and you got to handle that well so that you can be back here, Thursday morning and handle that day, and then the next day and the next day. And I think sometimes that's the hardest thing for us. It's hard. Sometimes it's a struggle for me as a 40-year-old man. I remember what it was like to be 15, 16, 17. I got to get up and go to school again, and go to the weight room again, and go sit in offensive and defensive meetings again. I've been doing this for 2 months, 3 months, 4. But that's what separates good to great, is the ones that can handle that and do that. So.
Well, looking forward to this Friday. We've talked in depth about the home field advantage at the pit. We've mentioned it already today, but you guys have been on the road for 3 consecutive weeks. We'll be back at the pit this Friday. The student section, the band, the atmosphere at the pit, all of that will be in full force Friday night when you guys take the field. Just tell us again a little bit about how much that means for you and your players to finally be back at Booster Stadium this Friday.
Well, I can tell you, Coach Cook is the head coach of Hamilton County. One of the things that he told me was when he was looking at coming to make the trip and whether they wanted to do that or not, he said, you know what, I want to bring my team up there and my fans. I want them to see what it's like there, because he's heard about it, and so, man, yeah, I'm excited. I'll have chill bumps Friday when I walk out of that locker room, and I know our players do, and it's an awesome community, and we're excited to be in the pit Friday night with the band, the cheerleaders, all of our community packing it out, and it's going to be a good night for the Dogs.
Well, get there Friday night, and let's show them what the true Booster Stadium spirit is. Homecoming, be there, 8 o'clock kickoff. Until next time, this has been the Buddy Martin Show. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thank you. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.